Your defense does out here. But if you only get it 2, you've got to score on both of them down 10.
Right.
You got to figure out a way to score points on both possessions.
It is 2nd down and 6 at the Dallas 32. Shotgun for Romo. 2 receivers bunched on the left. Williams to the right. Snap back in the gun. They blitz him. They hit him. They sack him. He fumbled. Felix Jones on it for a minute. Lost it. Picked up by the Packers at the 5. And Witten knocks the linebacker Clay Matthews out of bounds. It's 1st and goal. Green Bay at the 3.
Now let's see, Brad, if Felix Jones had possession of the ball on the ground. It'd be a challengeable play, and it may be one, if we get another look here, that even if you don't get it, I mean, if it's close, you've got to challenge it because it's change of possession. Basically, the game is most likely, don't want to drive anyone away here, but let me just say this. It becomes exponentially more difficult if the Packers take over this ball in the 3 where it's marked right now.
Woodson got through. They blitzed 2 men from the outside. They didn't have him accounted for. What did it look like to you? Was he down?
Did Felix Jones have possession? That's the key to me. Clearly it's a fumble from the backside. Now, did Felix Jones get this ball? Did he have possession? We haven't seen a good look, which means the coaches haven't, but I take my chances right now if I'm Wade Phillips, and I just throw the flag. You have to.
He hasn't thrown it. Yeah, it comes, and he launched that one about as far as he can.
And the coaches get the same replay in their booth that we're getting, and we had never seen a replay that showed anything. So you had to go by the seat of your pants. But again, I think you have to take the chance on the challenge. And now we'll get a look.
Dallas is challenging the ruling on the field of the fumble.
Now here's the question. The ball goes out of Tony Romo's hands. It's a clear fumble, and we're going to discuss all of it when we come back.
AT&T has the nation's fastest 3G network. For football, that's a game changer.
Hey, dude, how about this for a fantasy trade? Williams for Johnson.
All right,
Yeah, we're going to get the call. It looks to me like Felix Jones should be down on top of that fumble, in possession of the ball, touchdown, before they pull it out of his hand. It's a sack for Woodson. Now, I don't like the fact that Jeff Triplette is running all the way across the field to talk to Wade Phillips.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
That's not so good. That's, as Bill Parcells used to say, that's not such good news.
The question again is going to be, did Felix actually have possession, or was he, he dove on the ball, but did he ever have possession? If he had possession, by the time they go to rip it out and his football comes out, he'd be down.
It looks to me by the replay on the Sony HDTV that he's down. It should be Dallas's ball.
I'm gonna go with you, Brad Cham, and then they're just going to have to figure out where you spot it.
The same principle by which the Packers didn't lose the ball on the punt return.
Because the ruling on the field was a fumble, we cannot review it for recovery of a loose ball by Dallas. Therefore, there is no challenge. Dallas is not charged a timeout. It'll be 1st and 10, Green Bay.
Be 1st and goal, Green Bay, but
Yeah,
I don't understand that. That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because the ruling is a fumble.
I mean, Romo clearly fumbled. Woodson on a delayed blitz came through and sacked him, and that's where Romo fumbled the ball.
I'm going to have to defer to Jeff Triplette here. I don't get it, but they're pretty good in the application of the rules, so I'm going to have to assume that whatever he just told us is accurate. But I don't quite get it, to be
I don't
quite
either.
honest.
They're going to go.
Everyone's talking about the play early in the 4th quarter, and let's take a look at the big turnover in the 4th quarter that Wade Phillips tried to challenge, but then was told he couldn't challenge. Patriots were up 10-0. Romo sacked by Charles Woodson. He fumbles. It appears that Felix Jones fell on it. He rolled over, had the ball pulled out. Clay Matthews would eventually recover it. Referee Jeff Triplette first went to review it, then returned to Wade Phillips to say it wasn't reviewable.
They said because that they ruled it a fumble all the way through, that I couldn't challenge it, even though we recovered the ball and our guy was touched, and he knew the guy was down. I mean, he saw it on the official saw it on the replay. It's something with the rule that you can't challenge. So
I've still got a lot to say about the rules.
Yeah. Well, Steven's a member
I say
now,
that
right?
with
Yeah.
a wink. I know why they have it, because so many times those are piles and scrums, and it gets real hard to see if somebody had a possession and then somebody touched him inside there.
I think a lot of people, Babe, are shaking their heads over this one. How in the world can you not review a play that apparently, it looked like to me anyway, and I think to a lot of people, that Felix Jones recovered that fumble?
Well, and after the game, Bill, Jeff Triplette said he never reviewed the play. He got over, got under the hood, as they say, went to put the headset on, and they realized it was a non-reviewable play. However, here is the rule. The recovery of a fumble is a non-reviewable play unless it's in the end zone. So if a ball is in the end zone and fumbled in there, then they can review the recovery of that fumble. Here's my point of contention. Felix Jones had possession of the football, so it wasn't, we think he had possession. That should have at least been determined. And why they didn't look at that aspect of the play, I'm not quite sure, but I do think the officials got it wrong in this case. I really do. It should have been reviewed. It wasn't, and I do understand in the strictest interpretation of it, the recovery of a fumble is a non-reviewable play. But at what point, when the other team gets possession or your own team gets possession, does it become a second fumble? And I think that's where you were with Felix Jones. And quite honestly, the Mike McCarthy challenge, when he didn't have one, that should have been a penalty. They didn't assess the penalty. That wasn't enforced. I thought the officials did not have their best day today out there.
Well, they weren't the only ones. Cowboy offense didn't have their best day either.